Sometimes I feared that if I close the doors, the new ones will not open, but that is just a negative belief. When I close the old doors, new ones always open. There are always more and more opportunities in this life to get more and more aligned with your true path if you only go towards them. A lot of us were raised in an environment and are still living in a society where quitting things has a negative connotation. I certainly was encouraged to keep going for delayed gratification, even when the situation didn't feel good to me. When we are children, we are encouraged to eat Brussels sprouts, even if we don't like them and we feel sick just thinking about them, maybe. But we're encouraged to eat them so we'll be healthy. When I didn't really truly wanted to go to college, I've heard from others that I should go because I should secure a good job for my future self. And when I was 3 years in and still hating it, I have heard people say, "Don't stop now, you only have 2 years left to go." But through the years, I have learned to see quitting from a different perspective. And that is, if it doesn't feel good and interesting now, it probably won't feel good later. If you don't find law interesting when in law school, you probably won't like being a lawyer. Some things feel bad in the moment, but it would probably be smart to not quit them, such as elementary school and high school, at least in most cases. And that is because it will most likely come in handy to us to be literate and get some basic knowledge. All rules have their exceptions, but exceptions can be flexible to mold for your well-being. Maybe if you hate going to high school, you should try homeschooling. If you don't enjoy your classmates, maybe you could switch classes or schools. If you really hate your job but need to pay the bills right now, maybe you should look at some other jobs because maybe they will be better for you than this one. There is always a spark of hope in any hard situation, I feel like.
Free flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends. Kind and brave, I know you'll find a way. Live your truth.
But apart from the exceptions, in which you should think twice before quitting. Quitting is sometimes healthy, needed, and can feel amazingly freeing. Sometimes new things cannot come to us because we're holding on to the new things that don't serve us anymore. If we want clear, fresh energy in our lives, we should make space for it. And there is no space for it if our lives are cluttered with all the old things that we didn't free ourselves from yet. Sometimes the situation is that we start something that doesn't sincerely feel good, but we don't listen to our sixth sense because our ego is on the way. Example would be going to medical school for bragging rights or because we want to make our parents proud. And then we feel horrible going to medical school and we want to quit. Sometimes we start something because we're genuinely interested in it, but time passes and we change. Or we are excited about something before we see the whole truth of it, and then we realize that we are not that interested anymore. People change, situations change, the world is turning. We should not expect of ourselves to stay the same and stick to something just because we started it once. Things that we do and things that we start are not our identity. They are just things that we try out. And some things also never change. Don't expect to become happy when you come to the finish line of something when you never even enjoyed the process up until that point. Let yourself be human, always changing, growing, and evolving. If you spend 3 years working in the company you don't like, why would you spend another one just to get that promotion and become the manager of a company you don't like? Once I believed that I had to suffer and bang my head on the wall and work really, really hard at things I don't care about in order to reach happiness. What a ridiculous concept that is to me now, but I remember when it was so real to me. Delayed gratification, they said. Suffer now and you will reach the promised land later. Today I believe, if it feels good, keep going. If it doesn't, drop it. And why I know that this is the best path for me? Well, because when I say it and when I live like that, my body feels so much more lighter and calmer. I love a writer, podcaster, and activist, Marta Beck. Maybe you've heard of her before. She taught me through her teachings that body is like an innocent child who doesn't know how to lie. If my body said no in the past, I ignored it and just kept going. If my body says no now, I listen and take it as a sign. Sometimes it knows when I'm on the right path, and it tells me with a feeling of ease, excitement, and burst of creative energy. But it always tells me when I'm not on the right path, and I should readjust it. That it tells me with anxiety, depressive feelings, heavy heart, and if I keep ignoring it, my body can become physically ill. So I have learned to listen and respect the body telling me to quit things, and it's amazing. You're a human, always changing and evolving. Let your life situations change and evolve with you.